Yeah, this one is for every woman trying to hold herself together. Every mother praying silently at night.
Hello guys, welcome back.
Every
It's Gordon
person
here.
smiling outside but
I
finding
knew
peace
it.
nobody's
I knew
seen.
something wasn't right. I felt it,
You are not
but I
alone.
ignored it. It's one of the
Welcome
most
to the
painful
relatable
sentences
lifestyle.
we say to ourselves.
I
Not
remember
because we
lying
didn't
under
know,
for pillow, asking God where my
but
worries
because
go.
deep down we
People say
did.
smile, but them no really
We
know.
just talked
How much pain
ourselves
person fit
out
carry
of
for so.
listening.
Life no
Today I
easy, I
want
no
us
go
to have
lie.
an
Sometimes
honest
it hard,
conversation
sometimes it
about
dry.
intuition,
Sometimes the people where you love
not
the most no even
superstition,
wanna be the
not fear,
closest eye.
not
But I still wake up
overthinking.
every
I'm
morning,
talking about
still thank God for
those
waking
quiet
me up.
moments
Still
when
carry my
something
children with love,
inside
still
you
they hope for
keeps
better days will
nudging,
surely come. I
keeps
learned that
nudging
life
you,
no be
and you
noise.
keep
Sometimes
brushing it
pain na
aside
silence.
because you don't
Sometimes
want
strength na
to seem
quiet. When
dramatic,
your whole world dey
judgmental, or
fall
paranoid.
apart. And if you
If you have
ever
ever
feel
ignored your
lost,
intuition and
know
regretted it
God
later,
knows
this
say you go
conversation
be
is for
alright.
you.
No matter
There
wetin
was a
life
time I
throw
heard
your way,
someone say,
don't lose yourself
your
for the
intuition
path
whispers
ahead.
before
This
your
life no be
reality
bingo, dem
starts
die.
shouting.
Real love, real pain, real
That stayed
fight.
with me
We dey rise
because
in the
life had
morning
shown
for
me
hard
that
times.
many
This life no
disasters
be
don't
lie,
arrive
lie.
without
Where we
warning.
dey go, dem no know.
Sometimes
Where we
the
heal, we
warning
go with
is just not
time.
loud.
Perfection just dey
Sometimes it's
lie.
just a feeling,
And we
a
still thank
discomfort,
God we
a lack
alive.
of peace, a question you can't explain.
Amazing
Not
grace,
because nothing looks wrong on the other side. We convince ourselves
standing
that
strong.
everything is fine.
People go
We
judge your
silence that
front
inner voice.
as if them
Then
no
months or
know you
years
suffer.
later, we
Everybody
finally
no the same,
understand
life
what
system
it
no
was
the
trying to
same.
tell
We
us.
don't overcome.
Think
Some
about
carry
friendships.
scars, carry
Have
names.
you ever met
But we
someone
heart still give
who
love.
smiled at you,
We keep
complimented
that
you,
smile on
acted like
forever.
they
Thank
genuinely
you, God,
cared,
when lights
but
turn
every
dark.
time
And
you were around
sometimes
them,
you go feel lonely.
something
But
just
even
didn't
when
sit well
nobody
with you?
knows,
You couldn't
sometimes
explain
you
it.
go
You even
let
felt
go.
guilty
Make
for
room
thinking
for
that way.
yourself too.
So you ignored
Believe
it.
in your
You kept
story for
sharing your
here.
secrets.
Your
You
pain no
kept
define your
trusting them,
future.
only,
Every scar
only
na
to find out
evidence
later
we the
that they
let
were the
go
same
with
person talking
time.
behind your back.
It's not
And
easy living
suddenly
life.
you remembered that feeling. Or maybe it was
Rise even
a
after
relationship.
hard times. You
Everything
stay
looked
through the
perfect.
dark nights. Amazing
Your
grace,
friends liked them. Your family
we
approved.
grow with time.
On social media, it
Perfection
looked like
just
a
dey
dream.
lie.
But every
And
now
we
and
still
then,
thank God
something
we
felt off.
alive.
Maybe they lied about little things. Maybe their stories never matched. Maybe they made you doubt yourself all the time. But because you loved them, you kept making excuses. Until one day, the truth became impossible to ignore.
You really carry me through.
And you
I go
realized
pray for the
your
days when
intuition saw
times
what your
hard.
emotions
I know my
refused to
enemies
accept.
vex. The more I
Parents
pray, the
understand
more
this
I
feeling very
vex.
well.
But
Sometimes your
life no
child
dey
tells you
always
they are
happen.
fine, they are
Sometimes
smiling,
things
they are
no be
eating, they are
perfect.
going to school,
They make
but
person
something
wanna
inside you
stop.
says,
Everybody
no,
looking
something
successful,
is wrong. So you
meanwhile
ask again and
fighting
again.
inside.
Eventually, they
Some
break down
believe
and
God
tell you they have
pretend,
been
make dem
bullied,
never see
or
the
they are
side.
struggling
But
emotionally,
life no
or they are
be
carrying something
equation.
they have been
Nobody
too
can
afraid
win
to say.
alone.
That
And if
wasn't luck,
nobody tells you
that was
today, it
paying
might be more
attention.
than you think.
Sometimes
You stay
intuition
strong
even shows up
because
in
nobody
business.
made you
You are
see.
about to partner with someone,
Blessing golden
everything on
rule.
paper looks
Fight but
good,
still
the
survive.
numbers
God's
make
grace keep
sense.
us
People kept
alive.
saying go for it,
Even when we
but
break,
every
still
meeting leaves you
rise.
uneasy.
Blessing
You
golden
keep noticing
rule.
small
We grow all
inconsistencies.
the time.
Nothing major,
Sometimes through the
just
rainfall.
little things.
No
Eventually,
fear,
you
no
ignore those signs
doubt.
because you don't want to miss the opportunity. Months later, you are chasing your money. The partnership falls
You're
apart.
building a
And once
life
again, you remember that
your
feeling.
parents sacrificed for
Here's something I've
you.
noticed: intuition
Everybody chasing
rarely
dreams
screams.
with fear in their chest.
Fear screams, anxiety
Keep
screams,
going.
panic screams.
You
But
may not see the
intuition
reward now,
usually whispers.
but one day
That's why it's so easy to miss,
you'll show up
especially
and
in
thank you.
today's world where
Your
everything
story will
is
inspire
noisy.
somebody,
Everyone has an opinion.
and your pain
Everyone
will
is
wake
giving
you up.
advice. Social media tells you how to think. Friends, friends tell
Amazing
you what they
grace,
would do. Family
I
tells
don't
you
give
what
up on
makes sense. And
life.
somehow,
Even
in
when
all that
nobody
noise, you stop
knows,
listening to
I put
yourself.
my
But
whole
here's
heart
something
into
equally
it.
important: not
Sometimes you
every
go feel
uncomfortable feeling
low.
is
No
intuition.
pretending just to fit
Sometimes
in. I
it's
want
just
people
fear.
to know
Sometimes
me
it's
even when life is
trauma.
far
Sometimes
away.
it's
And if you know it
anxiety
comes with
from past
time,
experiences.
trust the
Learning the difference takes wisdom. Fear says, what if everything goes wrong? Intuition quietly says, this doesn't feel right. Fear creates panic, intuition creates awareness. Fear makes you restless, intuition gives you a little but persistent nudge. One thing life has taught me is this: peace is expensive. Protect it. If you're constantly trying to convince yourself that everything is okay, maybe everything isn't okay. If you always need 20 people to reassure you, maybe you are ignoring something. Sometimes we are looking for permission from everybody else, when deep down we already know the answer. We just don't like it because the answer might require us to leave, to say no, to disappoint people, to start over, to be alone for a while. And those things are hard. Have you noticed how children sometimes sense people before adults do? A child suddenly refuses to go near someone. Adults laugh. Don't be shy, but children aren't always reacting to appearances. Sometimes they are responding to energy they can't explain. As adults, we simply train ourselves to ignore those instincts. We become experts at overriding ourselves. Many of, many of us have ignored our intuition because we didn't want to offend someone. We didn't want to appear rude, so we kept saying yes, kept showing up, kept trusting, kept explaining away red flags until the consequences become bigger than the discomfort of saying no. One simple no could have saved months, sometimes years of pain. The older I get, the more I realize that peace is not something you should negotiate. If a place constantly drains you, pay attention. If every conversation leaves you exhausted, pay attention. If someone repeatedly makes you question your worth, pay attention. Not every warning comes with evidence. Sometimes it starts with awareness. Let's also be humble enough to admit something. Sometimes we have ignored our intuition because greed got in the way. The deal looked too good. The profit looked too attractive. The relationship looked too perfect. The opportunity looked too exciting. We wanted it so bad that we stopped asking difficult questions. Wanting something doesn't make it right for you. Think about how many people say, I saw the signs, I noticed the red flags, I just didn't think it would get this bad. That's the painful part. The signs were there, they were just inconvenient. Now, does listening to your intuition mean you will never make mistakes? No, life doesn't work that way, but it does mean you'll become more intentional, more observant, more willing to pause before making life changing decisions. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is delay a decision until you have peace. No pressure, peace. If you're watching this today, maybe there's something you've been feeling for weeks, months, maybe even years. A conversation you've been avoiding, a decision you have been postponing, a relationship you have been forcing, a place you have outgrown. I'm not telling you to make emotional decisions overnight. I'm saying don't ignore what keeps showing up in your heart. Pray about it. Think deeply about it. Ask wise people for counsel. Pay attention because sometimes your intuition is picking up details your eyes haven't fully processed yet. One of the greatest gifts you can give yourself is learning to trust your own discernment, not blindly, not emotionally, but wisely. The more you practice paying attention, the stronger that inner awareness becomes. So the next time you hear yourself saying, it's probably nothing, pause. Maybe it is nothing, but maybe it's something worth paying attention to. Not every feeling deserves your attention, but don't dismiss every feeling either. Sometimes your future is quietly trying to protect you. Alright guys, don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. Turn your post notification buttons to be notified every time I post a new video. Click on the like button to give this video a thumbs up. Share this video with your friends, your family, whoever that you think that needs to see this video. Bye for now, and I will see you in my next video.
matter more than you think. You stronger than all the battles when nearly made you sing.